Hey guys, welcome to 4 Up Gaming. We've got another bat rep for you. This one is going to be done in the same kind of style that we did the last one. We did kind of like a how to play test a list, and so we're going to continue with that. This will be like part 2. I'm doing a different elf list. I changed things up a little bit, and so now I'm going to try with this different elf list. I'm going to try and do a scenario, an objective game. So you'll find that when you're playtesting lists, if you find a list that you think might work, before you start buying models, you definitely want to try and see how it handles objectives. Because most of the time you're going to be playing objective games. Usually in tournaments, we find that there's like one game where it's kill, and then the other ones
are objectives or something, table quarters or some kind of split up.
Exactly. So Tom is playing the Ratkin.
The Skaven, or the Ratkin.
The Ratkin, yeah.
Yep. Haven't played him in a while. Excited to use him again. Gonna be a little rusty on the rules and stuff, but I think I'll be all right.
So Tom actually has 3 different armies that he plays that are fully modeled and painted. Yeah. He's got the dwarfs, he's got the Ratkin, and the
Twilight
Kin. Sorry, not the Dark Elves, the Twilight Kin. So
I switch back and forth.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to remember 3 sets of rules.
Yes. So if there are some rule discrepancies, please keep that in mind. It's much easier for me and for Jimmy because we play 1, maybe 2 armies at the very most. But it's difficult for Tom. He switches back from 3 different armies. So, but it's nice. Gives us variety. Gives you guys variety.
Keeps it fun for me because I like playing different armies. It's kind of boring playing the same army every game.
And it's nice for us because we get to see different armies. And Tom comes up with some crazy armies. He plays really well with all of them, even when he forgets rules. He still plays really well with all of them. So every army is a challenge. It's nice to be able to see, especially when you're playtesting armies, how well they stand up, because every army is a little bit different. You know, his dwarfs, I think, are probably your most balanced army, but they just hit, and they are so hard. This Skaven, or Ratkin army is a little bit more like a horde style.
Yeah, I tried to run 3 completely opposite armies. So I went the hammer dwarf army, I went the soft Skaven army, that's really soft, but it has like a lot of units, and I went the fast dark, or Twilight Kin. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, we're old Warhammer players, so it's the Dark Elves, it's the Skaven.
Dark Elves and Skaven.
The dwarves, I guess, stay the same. But yeah, so this bat rep will be a little bit different. I think we have most every unit is represented. The only unit that's not is I have some Forest Shamblers that I'm using, and they're not represented on the board because once again I'm not going to sink hundreds of dollars in models I'm not going to use. So if they work well for a couple bat reps, I'll buy them. If they don't work well, I don't buy them. And it saves us because we both have extensive collections of models that we don't use anymore because we bought them and maybe for a different game system or maybe for this game system and we don't use them anymore. We used them for a couple games and we found out, oh, that's crap. So, and just for some of you there's an obviously it's been a while since we filmed a bat rep, and just so you guys know, we did have other play tests that we did. The results of those games have been very different though because we decided to go flyer heavy for a little while there.
Yeah, we ran some tournament armies, and we kind of went that direction.
You know, I'll tell you right now, flyers are definitely not my thing. I don't mind having a little bit in there, but we kept pushing each other until eventually it was going to be almost all flyers against almost all flyers.
Yeah. I think he was running 2 dragons and a bunch of units, and I had 3 dragons and cav and flyers.
And so we just kept pushing ourselves to it.
Yeah.
And eventually it got silly. It just got really silly. You want to play that in tournament, that's fine. And I have no issues with people that want to play flyers, but that's just not the game we want to play. We want to play something a little more balanced, so we kind of took a step back.
A little more strategic. And
it's more about the tactics of the game. And that's why we like Kings of War. It's more about the tactics and, who is a better general, not who can, fly over stuff and create the craziest
the biggest list.
That's where we were going, and we had to take a step back. So this is us taking a step back from that tournament thing, and I'm sure we'll have tournament lists that we'll come up with.
Yeah.
But for right now, we're trying to find
plays one of these times.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny to watch. It's a bunch of flyers and it's like zipping all over the table.
It's crazy. Especially with the new Clash of Kings rules, it makes it a little different for flyers, but it's just crazy. And for a tournament, cool, but for a nice, good, fun game, it really kind of limits you. You only have 1 or 2 unit types on the board.
It's the one-trick pony.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either going to win huge or lose.
So this is a little more balanced. We're trying to get back to the roots of what we feel Kings of War is, which is mass combat battle. It's multiple different types of units doing different things, working together, and that's what we feel we had to get back to. So
more objective games, not so much kill.
Yeah.
We're going to try and really soak into the Kings of War,
Yes.
the game, how they want it to be played.
Yeah,
Not so much how I can build
how we can break
a crazy
it.
list.
Yeah.
Because we can all do that.
Yeah, I mean, this game, just like any game, you can find the rules to bend and break, and you can do that if you want to. You're going to have people at tournaments that do it all the time, and then there are people that are at tournaments that don't do that, and you really respect those people that respect the game. I guess is the best way to put it. So, and for those of you out there that play tournaments that do that broken stuff, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just
We're
saying,
going to play tournaments and we're going to do the jankiest list we can come up
exactly.
with. So
We're going to take advantage of every opportunity as well. So don't think that we're not saying that.
We've
but-
already got our list figured out.
Exactly. So don't think we're not going to do that.
But I just don't want to play that every time.
Yeah, it's just not fun playing that against each other all the time.
Yeah.
So we've got kill and pillage. We've got 6 objectives set up. We've got a lot of terrain, different types of terrain.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff.
It's going to be a fun game.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll show a deployment. We're going to show where the objectives are and everything like that, and we'll get started with the game. All right, so we have the Ratkin.
The Ratkin. So we got a unit of blight over here. Nothing on him, I don't think. Nope, nothing on him. We got a unit of shock troops with the Brew of Strength. We got a unit of blight over here with Chant of Hate. We got the weapons team. We got another unit of blight with Blessing of the Gods. We got a unit of shock troops with Brew of Sharpness. We got a unit of shock troops with Orcsbane Amulet. Or no, yeah. And a unit of do I have enough units? Hang on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Too many units. Right? Yeah.
Oh, you have too many units, huh? That's fine. I'm okay with that. You can take one of those units away. That would have been interesting. And that's the unit of shock troops, right?
Shock troops.
You just moved up there? Okay. And then we got, looks like 2 rat fiends.
And weapons team, I don't know if I said.
Yeah.
And Stormcrier with Healing Charm.
Sweet. Oh.
I'm sure I'm right here.
So this is the difficulty with having multiple lists that you run is sometimes when you haven't run a list for a while, you forget what you have. So it's always good to commit to a list when you know you can commit to a certain one and try and run it as much as you can. So I will be the first one to say that it's difficult to run multiple lists at the same time.
Yeah, having 3 armies
So I don't know
is
how you,
sometimes.
I don't know how you do it sometimes. So we'll go ahead and show you guys what we have for the elves.
For the elves.
For the elves, so 2,000 points for both of these. I have a unit of archers with Brew of Keen Eye. I have an elven mage back behind them with Bane Chant. I have a unit of tall spears, even though they look like archers. A horde of tall spears with Brew of Strength. I have another horde of tall spears with Brew of Sharpness. And then in front of them I vanguarded a unit of forest shamblers, a horde of forest shamblers with Blessing of the Gods. And then over here I have 2
regiments.
Regiments, yeah. 2 regiments of Stormwind Cav. This one has Potion of the Caterpillar, which gives him Pathfinder. This one has nothing. I have the Green Lady behind him. And then I have another unit, invisible unit, of Forest Shamblers with Chant of Hate. So my army obviously is a lot smaller, but I guess not too much smaller.
Not too bad. I got a lot of hordes.
I went ahead and vanguarded some stuff, so I'm going to see if maybe, just some different distances and angles and different units kind of helps me out a little bit. I wanted to go with something that was a little bit more defensive minded, and I think the Forest Shamblers are one of the toughest things I have in this army. I needed a little bit of toughness to kind of help with slowing other enemies down and kind of whittling them down a little bit. So you see with the terrain, we have 6 different objectives. They're just all over
the place.
I mean, they're pretty well spread out.
Yeah, we just kind of threw them down. So we got one here, one over by the rock, got one by the little obstacle, one right in the center, always, and 2 over here on this side.
I don't think either one of us really favored. I mean, I obviously favored this side more.
Yeah, you did. Kind of changed me up. I was kind of spreading out.
Yeah, even though you've got 3 objectives, or we've got 3 objectives over here, I still favored this side. So it'll be interesting to say the least what happens. I have turn 1. or top of turn, or whatever you want to say. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. Well, here we are again, another list, another playtest. So, this list is obviously very different from my last. I added some more Cav and some more Forest Shamblers, and this turn was really just to kind of see how quickly I can get to him in combat. The Ratkin are a very formidable army in combat, so I knew this was definitely going to test my army in every way possible. Alright, Elves Turn 1 was pretty uneventful. We have some moving up. I moved my Shamblers up and kind of helped with the to be able to move my Cav up with them. I moved my Tall Spears and my Green Lady, pretty much moving this whole side of the board, trying to move things up. Got my Tall Spears that ran towards the forest because they're elves. They like trees, I guess. And then I shot at the Blight over there with my unit of
pretty good. You got a Bane Chant, so Bane Chant definitely helped.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
8 wounds. That's
8 wounds.
pretty good.
Which is good on a unit, but it's a fearless unit, so I need at least one more round like that.
Yeah.
At least one more round like that.
One more solid round like
Yeah.
that would probably do it. But
Yeah.
that was pretty good.
But we'll see. We'll see. Other than that, though, I mean, that was pretty much it. I think I moved everything I'm buying. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see what the rat can do. So there are certain things that you just can't account for in your playtesting lists. And the other one, the one thing you can't account for is that your opponent is going to outplay you from the very beginning. Tom definitely did a great job of playing the distance game with me, and it would honestly set up the whole rest of the game. So kudos to him. Obviously, it's just a playtest list for me, but every game we can game together is still a game where you can challenge each other, and he definitely challenged me in more ways than one. And unfortunately, I don't think I challenged him too much, but it was still a good turn for him. All right, so Ratkin Turn 1. Yeah, tell me what you did.
Just coming right at him again. Slowly. Don't want to get too close to the old knights.
Sorry about that.
All right, so just moved everything up. Little moves here, a couple inches. Stay out of range of the Forest Shamblers. This unit coming around the flank. Maybe beta charge from the Forest Shamblers.
Maybe.
Probably not.
Maybe.
That'd be kind of a weird move. Over here, did a little shot with the weapons team. 3 wounds. I'll take it.
Little bastard weapons team.
Yeah, not bad.
Bastards.
Moved up everything here. Moved into the forest with these guys. Hopefully I don't get shot up again, because that hurt. So I got stealthy and forest, so -2. Hopefully it helps me.
That's what I used. It's what I had last time.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
you roll hot. So
Yeah, I rolled pretty good, so we'll see.
We'll see. If I can keep pushing it, we'll see how it goes.
And what's the shock troops move?
6.
6? Okay. Ugh. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. My dudes are in the forest, eyeballing your what are they, Blight?
Blight. Yeah.
Do Blight have ensnare?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Snare stealthy.
Ugh. All right. Well, we will go on to turn 2. So right from the beginning, I knew this was going to be a challenging game. He had given me some options in which to charge in, but he did a perfect job of realizing that it was not a good idea to take a charge from all 4 of these units at once. So if he gave me some different ranges, I would have to pick and choose. I'd have to choose whether or not to charge with just my Cav into one unit or just my Shamblers into another unit. And it was a great way to divide my line up and, force me to charge because the Rat Fiends were in range of my Cav. And hindsight, I probably should have just kept my Cav in the forest, but hindsight's 20/20. So the Shamblers charged into the Blight, and my other archers, or not archers, my Tall Spears charged into the Blight over there. Just trying to create some different things. Trying to get into combat with the Blight and in the middle there, trying to force the middle a little bit early so that way I have that objective, I can claim that objective early, and maybe it'll help turn part of his army to go, oh, I need to grab that objective too. Trying to do different things, and with this list, again, I'm trying to test the parameters of this list. I'm trying to see how good are 2 units of Cav, how good are 2 units of Forest Shamblers, can they work well together, do they not work well together? Unfortunately, I didn't account for one variable, and that is me. I didn't play them very well here, and he played his units exceptionally well. So, you that's just how you play. You just got to get better. So. All right. End of turn 2 for the elves. I charged into the Rat Fiend. Those guys are fearless 17. I figured I could do some work on
rallying.
them.
Don't forget the rallying.
Yeah, don't forget the rallying. So 19, yeah. But I figured I had to.
Did 10 wounds. Somebody had to open the door.
Yeah.
So.
Stuffed up that unit over there of Blight. I hate the Blight so much.
Did pretty good there. I was impressed.
Yeah.
7 wounds.
7 wounds for a unit that has, 18 attacks. Needing 5s to hit because they have Ensnare.
Yeah, it was impressive.
That was pretty good.
Happy with those guys.
Yeah, those 4 Shamblers, they're doing pretty good. Charge the Tall Spears into the other unit of Blight over here.
This will go to turn 6.
Yeah, this is going to be all game
this
long.
This is 2 Tarpanies.
And that's just what they're going to do. They're just going to beat the hell out of each other all fucking game. Over here, we have got some shots.
Yeah.
Did some shots.
So you needed an obstacle, move back. So you needed 5s. Did 5 wounds. That's pretty good.
You know, this is one of those things about archers, about shooting in general, is that they're not typically going to be a unit that is good in combat. So when you put an archer unit or any kind of like shooting unit in your army, yeah, oh yeah, I had to. You got to give them a little bit of, punch. But you also got to think about the numbers game. This archer unit is not going to beat anything in combat unless it's like a little troop. It's not going to take on a horde. So you start thinking. He was within 12 inches of my unit.
Yeah.
So you would have had me next turn. I had 1 turn of shooting, and I might have been able to put I'd say 5 more wounds on that unit.
Maybe.
Give or take. And that's not enough to kill a unit.
No.
So pretty much you would have had this unit next turn. It'd have been done. So you want to, obviously your unit can't do anything if it's not surviving.
Yeah.
So I had to move back. I had to create that distance. And now you have to choose, do you want to come over that edge and give up that objective?
Yeah.
Which you're going to.
Yeah.
Because either that or you're going to sit there and I'm going to shoot at you. And the same thing with the Blight. Do you want to go any further or do you want to stay right there and give up that objective? Because now you have 3 objectives in this other board and only two units to grab it. Which is kind of why I put my shooting unit over here, just because I was like, shit, I might be able to hold 1 objective and hopefully shoot them off of 2 objectives.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see. Because this unit over here, there's an objective right here. So, I guess you could use him, but there again, you don't get full points now for war machines grabbing objectives. But it's a possibility. Once again, this is a playtest list for me. This isn't, Tom hasn't played this list in a while.
Wow,
So
it's been a little bit.
we're going to see. This next turn is we're going to have some stuff pan out, especially over here. I'd be amazed if those Cav survive because they're probably going to take a flank charge. I don't know. Maybe.
Not sure how I'm going to play this yet.
Maybe.
Still thinking about
There's enough. I set up my Cav over here to create kind of like
in the back to make me think about it.
Which is unusual for me because I usually don't have that. I usually have a line and there's no back to anything, and so you're like, I can punch through this.
The second wave.
Yeah, the second wave helps. Hopefully my Tall Spears can get there to help the Shamblers out, but I don't know. Might get flanked by this other Rat Fiend. So it's interesting the way things might pan out because then after that wave, then I'm going to hit with my second wave, and then you're going to hit with your second wave. This is the beauty of Kings of War.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be interesting. I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
We'll go on to turn 2 for you. It's only turn.
I'm at turn 2.
Oh my god!
We got into it.
Wow, we got into it early. All right, we'll go to turn 2. So part of this list I'd already play tested before. I'm sure if you guys have seen the other bat rep. I dropped some things. I added some things. I added another unit of Cav. I wanted to see how 2 units of Cav, 2 units of Forest Shamblers would work well, and they worked pretty well. Except that I didn't play them very well. You're never expecting your Cav to get double charged by anything, and then your Shamblers get separately charged, and your other Shambler unit to get flanked and stuff like that. We went back and looked at the some of the things, like as in base sizes for the shock troops. The shock troops actually should have been 10 wide. They're only 7 wide here, and so that would have made a difference with double charging with the Rat Fiend and the Horde. I don't think you would have had enough room to do both because of the other Horde being right there. And it changes things obviously as you look at a game afterwards. It may have prevented the cav from dying turn one, or that first turn of combat. Would it have changed the outcome of the whole game? I don't think so, but it would have changed things slightly. So the Forest Shamblers over on the far flank, though, they died this turn. It was pretty bad. He did some really good rolls and did some good wounds, but I rolled like an 11 or something on their nerve test. So losing that left flank that quickly in the game really hurt bad. Fortunately for me, though, the right flank really starts to hold up well, and it kind of balances out the board, I guess, so to speak. Okay, so you guys probably watched it too. The bitch slapping that happened over here. Pretty much what happened here is the Shamblers should have held. But yeah,
probably should have put the green lady a little closer. For the
I wasn't honestly. I wasn't anticipating that a unit with no wounds was gonna roll an 11 on their break.
Yeah.
So
but you could have had a 3.
Yeah, so, but I'm still learning her as far as like because I was back here.
Yeah.
So if I
or whatever, I mean, get as many units as you can in the bubble.
Right, but I had her back here.
Yeah.
So I moved her 10, which got her here. If I would have moved her closer, then she wouldn't have been able to heal last turn.
You're
so
here. 10's like here.
Yeah, I still don't think I had it because I think she was back here. If I'd have moved in the middle, then to really kind of get everything in a bubble, for what? Because over here you had me pretty good. Over there you had me. I mean, yeah, it would have kept the Shamblers, but
yeah,
you can't. I mean, you planned for an 11.
It's
I mean,
yeah,
it's for a fearless unit. He put 7 wounds on him, and then I rolled an 11 was rolled.
Yeah.
So you can't ever really like fully prepare for every thing that happens. So this side is definitely different. I have some options here though. There are some things that are wounded, so I've got to think about what I want to do here. But yeah, we'll go over here. These guys got wounded a little bit, but obviously nothing because they're just going to beat the hell out of each other. Although I will say,
7 wounds, I'll take that actually.
I mean, I should have let him charge me because then you'd have had to roll -1 for fighting in the forest. But oh well. This turn will balance out a little bit though because I will only have to take a -1 when I'm hitting you, and then nothing over here. So just kind of move forward.
Just keep holding it down.
The archers are pretty like, no, come and get us. So, but we were talking on camera, but you guys couldn't hear it, about how broken the Ratkin are.
Oh.
So yeah, the Blight 230 for a unit that has Ensnare and Stealthy, and
Defense 3.
Defense 3, but Fearless, Ungodly 20 million.
I'm beating him with basic troops, and he doesn't have dragon, so he's better.
Basic. You got war gear on everything. Ain't no basic about
troops.
this.
Just hordes of guys.
That's because your army's broken in one way, my army's broken in the other, and I'm not using my dragons because they're broken. So, yeah. So this definitely did not go very well for me. Some tactical errors. Obviously I was playing the measuring game with him. He has a couple units over here that have 14-inch range, right? The two Rat Fiends. So whenever you are playtesting a list, there are some times where this happens where you'll face somebody else that has a list that's pretty well dialed in, and so sometimes you've got to look past what happens in the specific game and look to the strengths of the unit. The Forest Shambler unit getting routed here, I mean, is that going to happen all the time? Hell no, it's not going to happen all the time.
They did good. They held it down.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to hold it down. This other Forest Shambler unit here got flanked and took a frontal charge from broken units. So
he's a little bitter.
Yeah. So I mean, you have to look past that. They did what they did. I mean, I gave them no support as far as like any backup because honestly, my range game wasn't quite as good as yours. I didn't have my cav. I should have positioned my cav next to each other, so I could have charged them at the same target.
That's what I was expecting. Was the two cav right next to each other?
Yeah, and I tried to do something different. I'm still I'm playtesting this army, so give me a couple games with it, and I'll have some of the tactics ironed out. But yeah, over here hurt. The nice thing is though that you have almost all of your army over here except for 3 units. There's only 2 objectives over here. That's the nice thing.
You have 2 and I have 3. So
over here, we don't know what's going to happen here yet. So there's 1 objective maybe, and then over here we don't know what's going to happen yet. But there's 3 objectives on this side of the board. So I guess if I had, depending on how the game irons out, that's one thing. Obviously, over here, if I can shoot down one unit, even if I get housed, I'm still taking away, or in a way, I guess, holding away 2 objectives.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of you have to look at the bright side and everything.
Kill and pillage, so there's kill points.
Oh yeah,
so
there's definitely kill points.
Looking to smash it up.
There's definitely kill points. But as far as objective games go, you have to. Sometimes you got to look at that. How many units are on one side of the board with objectives to grab? So, but obviously there's more kill points over here. So, I guess it's either doesn't really matter. All right, we'll get to turn 3. Oh my God!
Top of 3.
Turn 3. So turn 3. We're halfway through a game. So now it is a good time to start evaluating units. It's difficult sometimes when you just get completely pummeled on one side of the board to evaluate a unit, because when you don't play it right, or when you have bad luck, or whatever it is, it's difficult to try and evaluate units, especially when the person that you're playing on their side of the board just did a really good job of playing the game. I got to give him props. I gave him crap when we were playing this game for his units being broken. I was just giving him a hard time. He played a very good game, and he has a very good list with the Ratkin. So it's difficult sometimes to evaluate units, to evaluate things when your tactic abilities, I guess, or tactical abilities are so limiting. I just did not play a very good tactical game at all, and unfortunately, it shows through, especially on this side of the battlefield. But you have to look at, okay, this is the worst possible scenario. So now, what can these units accomplish? What goals can they achieve even when faced against insurmountable odds? It makes for an interesting game, to say the least. You don't ever want a tournament game to go like this, but against your friend, it's a good game. Wow. Wow. Just wow. So here I was talking shit about your army being broken. I had to give him crap because he designed a really good list.
Yeah. Pretty good.
He uses the strengths of his units and puts them together, and then complements his strengths with war gear.
Yes, elite across the table. He's complaining that I have ensnare.
Yeah.
So it just
Oh yeah, and stealthy.
He was getting beat down. He was not feeling good about it.
Yeah, so I had to complain about something because, what else can you do? So,
and so the dice gods heard him. And said, let's change this game around.
the dice gods heard all the bitching, and oh my God! So you lost a unit of blight over here.
Yeah, I rolled double 6,
which is fucking weird.
Crazy.
But then, oh no, you rolled you rolled something high, and
11.
then over here with the fearless unit, you rolled boxcars, which is exactly what you needed.
Yeah.
Well, not needed. I needed that.
Yep.
So. For all those out there who like to bitch during a game, there you go. I'm not normally one of them, but I just had to bitch because I know that the elves are fucking janky as shit. But I had to give you crap. So
he gives me crap, and then the dice turn. And so I lost 2 units. I'm double 6s. So
I needed that, otherwise this game would have been over. Yeah. It's still it's hurting already. Over here, I've got.
Yeah,
it's gonna be. A little different, to say the least, tactic-wise over here. Just a straight-up beatdown still in the middle here.
Yeah.
I flew my green lady over, though, because she needs to not be over here anymore. Because I felt that the whole line would be screwed. And it's a good thing I flew her over, because I was going to leave her there next to that unit of Tall Spears. Yeah, she'd have been killed by that rat fiend. So it's a good thing I did that. She's going to take flame breaths, but it's okay. She's defense 6, so I'm good with that. And then over here, that was actually the biggest part over here.
Oh yeah.
That was huge because now I can focus. Granted, I've only got one more turn of backing up to go, but I can at least do some more damage on you for another turn at least. And who knows? Maybe then you can roll boxcars again, or boxcars can get rolled again. Oh my God, that was so funny. And I wasn't even being serious about the bitching at your units. I was just having fun. I didn't realize I didn't realize it was going to cause the dice gods to get mad. I hope they don't get mad. I hope they don't get mad at me next turn. That'll be bad. So we're going to go on to turn. What turn are we on?
Bottom of 3.
Oh my God, this is only bottom of 3. I don't think this game's going to be able to go to turn 7. I don't think we're going to I don't think I'm going to have anything left. But you might have some stuff left. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Unless keep rolling high on nerves, and then you're gonna have stuff, nothing left. So we'll go to turn 3. So I've got to give kudos to Tom. He played a very good game, and he also has a very good list. Part of good playtesting is having a good list and being able to utilize that list to the best of its ability when you're playtesting and get the most out of the game so you can evaluate units. He did a very good job of playtesting this list and running this list exactly how it had to be run and accomplishing the goals. I would say for his list, it's pretty well perfect. I know he wrote it pretty quick. And then he adjusted some things when I got there. But ultimately, he played it very well. And unfortunately, I can't say the same. I can't say the same for me. But all right, bottom of 3.
Bottom of 3.
Halfway through the game.
Killed the calf.
Wow, I didn't see that one coming.
Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, those damn broken units, I tell you.
Oh.
They can even carry objectives that aren't supposed to be moved.
It's still right there.
I know it is. I'm just kidding. Oh man. Yeah.
They only did a couple wounds over here, like 5, I think.
Shot at my green lady.
Shot the green lady. Did a wound.
Yeah, you did.
On 6 defense. And he's talking about broken units.
Oh. So yeah, that's
Heal
it.
8, defense 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Oh yeah, she's good to go.
Yeah. Fly.
She's good to go.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got regen too.
Regen.
All right, let's get on to turn 4, I think. Okay, to be perfectly serious with you guys, I think my ass is still sore from the ass kicking I got this game. Wow, just wow. You can't ever plan for it, but sometimes it happens. And all you can do is just laugh, have fun, roll some dice, and let the game go the way it's going to go. And playtesting or not, you just got to remember to have fun. So I guess part of this game, being as fun as it is, we're turn 4, right? Yeah. Is that crazy crap happens in this game. Crazy crap happens. My tall spears finally wiped out your broken unit of... what are they again? Oh shit. Blight, thank you. Finally shot down the other unit of shock troops. So good job for the archers. They took out 2 units. Well, they shot 1 unit, hurt the other unit, and then a bad dice roll took out the other unit.
Yeah.
Let's be honest with it. That should not have happened. I'll be the first one to admit it. That should not have happened with the unit of blight dying like they did, which then would have cost shock troops
to die.
Not to, yeah. So it was kind of a domino effect. Over here, the same thing with my shamblers. I shouldn't have made that, but it's not as big of an impact as it was over here.
Yeah,
that was big.
He's complaining about nothingness. So.
Complaining about some broken stuff.
Yeah,
so,
he is the most broken army in the game. If you want to start an army, play elves, because they're auto-win. Even though I'm probably going to win this game.
Yeah, you can't say auto-win. You're probably going to win this game.
Better player. Just going to throw it out there.
So I position my tall spears, and
that's about
pretty much to take a double charge. They're gonna die. It's turn 4, right?
Yeah.
You've got 2 turns of movement after this. You're gonna be able to lock up another objective. I don't know what'll happen with the flame dude in this. I don't know how that'll work. I guess I could charge in there. He'll probably try and shoot something, I'm guessing. I don't know. Yeah. Over here, I've got my Elven Mage and my Archers, so I'm going to at least hold 2 objectives, but I guess 1.5. Because the individual can hold like a half objective or some bullshit like that. I still don't think it's going to be enough, even with this objective here, because I can hold that one and maybe fly the Green Lady over there. I can do some weird shit. I still don't think even holding all 4 of these objectives, I'll have to look at how much objectives are worth. Because I don't quite know how that works.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
We might still have to play just for that. But I'm trying to think. If there's, I guess we'll go ahead and go to turn 4.
Turn 4.
So you can get your revenge. So, he's mopping up at this point. I think he was a little upset about me calling his units broken. So he's just finishing up the game and just wrapping up, tying some loose ends. But let's be honest here. 230 points for a unit of crushing strength with elite, with vicious, that has 21-23 break and could go all the way up to 23-25 break for 230 points. And all that comes with it. That's a pretty good unit. I don't care who you are. All right, so
roll the same courage after these guys attacked.
So we had a unit of tall spears over here that died, and that's all that happened this turn. The battlefield looks much different.
These are all dead, by the way.
Yeah, those are all dead. Yeah, those are all dead. They're not retarded units facing each other. Those are all dead. This unit would obviously move up here and capture an objective.
Yep.
This unit, contrary to my opponent's belief, would hold that objective.
I just killed this tall spear unit like massively.
Hold it.
Like just annihilate it.
Hold it down all day long.
This tall spear unit will hold it.
I'll do some heal and it'll be good to go.
Yeah.
It'll be all right. I don't know what it's one of those things. Charging into a forest may help. Me obviously countercharging back if I be able to survive it. It's a lot of attacks. Coming in. It's pretty much up in the air, but it's not going to matter. I'm gonna go ahead and call it because I've got 4 units on the board.
Yeah.
I've got an elven mage. I've got a green lady. I've got tall spears and archers. So yeah, you crushing my side over here, that hurt. Took away a lot of my punching power because my tall spears aren't really a punch of the army. They're more kind of like
they're
a core.
a tar pity.
Yeah,
deal.
they're not meant to be something that's going to hold
like
all
my
game.
blight that are broken.
Yeah, the broken blight. The broken blight. So yeah, I think we'll go ahead and we'll call it here. Because obviously we're just play testing. So sometimes when you're play testing, you've got to be able to know when to stop. So
I can't believe he thinks this shit's gonna hold up. That's what
I got to, man.
cracks me up.
It's just like every year, every game the Broncos play, I've got to think they're going to win. It's just like you think every year the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't going to have people getting popped for drugs.
Oh, taking shots. Dang.
Just kidding. You know what? You know why I'm kidding? Because that's how we win the Super Bowl is by the Pittsburgh Steelers losing people.
Pretty much.
So I'm fine with that.
Fonta's perfect.
Montez Burfict is the best Broncos player of the year, even though he's on the Bengals.
He won the Super Bowl. He should get a ring.
He should get a
Give
ring.
him a ring.
Yeah, they should send him a ring. Because it's like, thank you for taking out not only Le'Veon Bell, but hurting Ben Roethlisberger and taking out Antonio Brown. Yep. I like it.
Yeah.
Hey man, any way you can win, right?
There you go. Take it when you can.
I should paint one of my guys, put one dude on this battlefield with the Vontez Perfect jersey on.
You got the orange and blue. What do you need?
Right. Got the orange, got the blue. Well, I think Cincinnati Bengals they're what, black and orange?
Oh yeah, black and orange.
So maybe I'll make that
Same
my
Bronco color, but
oh yeah, definitely. I didn't even think about that until after I was done painting them too. All right, we'll get set up. We'll do an end of game review here, and then we'll be done. All right, so that's our game for tonight.
yeah, good game.
It was a pretty good game.
Yeah,
it was a good game. It got stupid in some points.
Got stupid. I rolled awful nerve.
But he rolled great to hit and to wound, but awful nerve.
I rolled bad to hit too, so I want to hear it.
Oh, he rolled some good nerves. That's some good ones in there.
It was
So it's broken units.
broken. Units.
Yeah, I know. For anybody who is out there who plays this game, obviously you do, otherwise you'd be watching this bat rep. I pretty much have to say that Elite is probably the best army-wide special rule.
Oh yeah.
I'll admit that.
Yeah.
But you know what?
You pay like points for it.
You've
for
got
wanting it to have it.
Yeah,
And
you
get
gotta
to
have fun.
army-wide.
You gotta have fun with these games. When you see you're getting smashed, you gotta have fun with the game. And so I like to poke fun and be like, that unit's broken. I know my whole army is, but you know what? That unit is broken. Because why? Because why not?
Yeah.
It was a good game though. I mean, the objectives put a different spin on it. This was the first time I'd ever played with this exact list. First game ever with them. I feel like even though this, the left flank definitely fell apart when it needed to hold, it was still a good game.
Yeah. It was a good game. It was close. It was back and forth. The archers over there holding it down. My bad nerve.
Held down the right flank.
Against 2 units.
Yeah.
Bearing down 2 hordes. And just somehow survived.
That's crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
It was crazy.
The Bane Chant, definitely Bane Chant some
helps.
shooters. It helps.
Yeah, it definitely helps. There are 3 objectives on the right side of the board, so in a way I negated him from being able to get 2 of them. So that definitely helps. Ultimately though, I mean obviously he killed way more points on the other side of the board, so it didn't really matter. But for purposes of different ones like regular pillage, where I think it's just objectives.
Yeah, definitely.
That's definitely something to think about.
Him deploying everything over there on the weaker objective side. There's only, 2 objectives over here? most of them are over here.
Mhm.
And he deploys his whole army over there. That was a good play.
And that was intentional. What I should have done though is held my stuff back. Tom is an excellent player. He's a tournament winning player, and so it hurts sometimes when you have somebody outmatch you and just tacticize. How would you say that? Tacticize you.
That's our word for today.
That's what we're making it. Tacticize. Okay, that's our word for today. I don't know, just out tactically think, I guess. I don't know what you'd actually say. But it happens. I mean, it just happens. It's the whole point of the game. It's what makes the game fun. I'd rather be beat by somebody having really good skills and really good tactics and just knowing their units and having a good game than somebody just fucking rolling stupid.
I always tell people you learn more from losing than winning.
Right, and
I've lost
a lot, so I should have like
winning. You're like, oh, I won that
just
game. That was
keep-
great. I didn't learn anything.
Right.
But losing, you're like, man, what could I have done better? How could I position that?
Mhm.
So definitely on that.
And according to that, I should have an encyclopedia of knowledge somewhere because I've lost quite a bit. But obviously, leaving the safety of my trees in the forest over there might have made some things different. I maybe should have held back a little bit on that side. But you know what? I've played the old elves for so long where you kind of get sick and tired of holding back, and you kind of want to just go forward if you can. And this army gives me a little bit of ability to do that. And also, like I said, it's a new list, so I'm trying to get used to what I have.
Yeah.
It's a smaller army. It's only 9 units. I usually try and keep my unit size at around 10 or 11.
He's going
it's
against a
smaller.
super horde army of Skaven.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know how many units it was, but it's hordy.
It's a big army.
Big army.
And I know I say that his units are broken, but what he does is he takes the natural skills of what they have, and he gives them war gear to complement that. And that is, when you're playtesting a list, that's one of those things that when you look and you have maybe 100 points, 200 points, and there's no good option, then look at your units and see which ones you have. I know for your Blight, they already have Elite. They already have Vicious.
The Blight?
Or no, the Blight, no, sorry, the Shock Troops.
Shock Troops already have Elite Vicious.
They already have Elite and Vicious.
Yep.
And then you give one of them Brew Sharpness.
Brew
right?
Sharpness, yeah.
Makes them 3s to hit.
Yeah.
And then, so you're only failing on 2s.
Yep.
I do that because it's my
Army wide.
I do that with my tall spears.
Yeah.
And then
They got a Crush Strength 1, so, I mean, most things are 4s, so you need a 3, and then you get Vicious, so again,
and they already
pretty good
have
unit.
they already have Crushing Strength 1. Yeah. So they have Crushing Strength 1, Vicious, Elite, and then you give them a piece of war gear like Brew of Sharpness. I mean,
you gotta combo that stuff up.
You gotta look at your list, and that's part of, I would say, fine tuning a list once you have something set.
Yeah.
That's definitely something you want to see where you can add a little bit of war gear to either balance out a unit. I like to look at a unit and go, okay, this unit's good, but what would make it great?
Yeah.
And then add that piece if you can. And like for example, Cav. You have to, if you have Cav and then don't have Pathfinder,
Gotta give
come
them
on,
Brew the
20
Caterpillar,
points.
whatever it
Nah,
is.
or
The
something like
Caterpillar
that.
thing. Yeah.
20 points.
You gotta do that.
I mean, that way they don't lose their Thunderous Charge. I do that with one of my Cav units. You
That's
have
like
to.
auto.
Yeah, you got to.
Auto pick.
Yeah, you've just got to. You always want to bolster. I have a unit of archers. I give them Brew of Kenai. Why? Because 3s to hit and then re-roll, 1s for elite.
Not everybody has Elite.
Yeah, right. But that's the thing.
But still, I mean,
Yeah.
you're looking 3s to hit. That's pretty good. It's better than 4s. I mean, you're looking at 20 shots going from 10 to 15 hits. So
you
right
gotta always do that when you're playtesting lists.
Yeah.
You gotta balance stuff out, see what works well, and then like I've always said, your list should fit your tactics.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to change your tactics to fit your list if you really like a list that you have. I like this list. I'm probably going to keep with this list for a little while until I have either just glaring defeats one after the other, or until if we'll play several games with it, and if I can't seem to beat anything, if I see some inherent flaws, some issues, obviously I'll change something. But for right now, I think it's a pretty good list. I just have to get better at playing it. So
I was a little off with the Skaven. Haven't played him in a while. Kind of threw this list together like last minute. So he was here, and I'm like right in the list. So it happened.
So
it was an old list I took, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then I looked at it, and I'm like, that's awful. And so I took a couple things out and like scribbled them out and put a couple units in, and came up with not a bad army. Like it's not bad. I could like spend some time doing it. The Skaven are still cool. I like them. I haven't played them in a while.
I don't see a lot of bat reps with the Ratkin or Skaven or whatever.
Yeah, Skaven. Sorry, Ratkin.
But they're a good army. They really are a good army,
Yeah.
and they're an underutilized army,
They're
to
not
say
bad.
the least. So now what I would do, obviously I've seen that objectives are going to be difficult for my army because it's so small. So kind of what I did over here, where I have one army or one unit to neutralize, and take out objectives. You have to think about that when you're running a smaller army. You're not going to be able to always put a unit on an objective. So because you're not always going to have 10 units. There were what do we have? 6 objectives on the board?
6, yeah.
So even for an army his size, 6 objectives to hold all 6 or even 3 objectives, there goes half your army right there. Because then you got to spend half your army holding that objective. And now with the new rules, war machines do not count as holding objectives, because I used to like to run war machines up
Yeah,
with
you did.
objectives.
I remember that.
You can't do that anymore.
The bolt throwers.
Bolt throwers holding objectives.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Individuals don't hold objectives. So it becomes, monsters, cav, infantry, that kind of stuff holding objectives. And if that's your punching power, you got to think about, okay, crap, how am I going to do that?
Yeah, that's a lot.
So it's not always how many objectives can I hold, it's how many objectives can I deny the other person holding. So think about that sometimes. He had 2 units over here. Well, I shot both the 2 units down. That takes away 2 units that could hold objectives. Think about that when you're playing objective game, when you're playtesting a list.
That's what I was thinking too. I had 2 units, 2 objectives. Could have had it.
Yeah.
I probably should have just held back and just hit that one objective. Because I had this table edge.
You had this whole board.
Whole board. He had his whole army over there. I mean, sat back.
Yeah, it was.
I got too greedy and thought I could take the archers with 2 units.
Yeah.
I probably should have.
The dice gods made him pay. The dice
Probably
gods
should've.
made him pay. So, likewise though, with playtesting a list, sometimes you're going to have rolls.
It happens.
We've all had them.
It always happens.
We each had a couple this game.
It just sucks when you do it like 3 or 4 times in a row.
It sucks. I
It's
had
like,
one.
ouch. Like you got the game
You
wrapped
had
up and
2.
you're
It
like,
was bad.
oh.
Yeah, it was bad. We've had bad rolls. And
It happens.
It really sucks too when you have a unit that is good to go. I mean, if your unit's about ready to
Positioned,
die.
like you're like ready to
Oh,
go.
yeah.
You're like, oh, oh, you need 11 to fail. There's an 11.
All right. So, like what we were saying though, when you have a unit that's good to go, and then all of a sudden you have a bad nerve roll.
Yeah.
And it's just they're like, oh.
The only
crap.
thing you can fail on is boxcars. And what do you roll?
Yeah, boxcars.
Yeah.
It's happened to all of us, and it's difficult when you're playtesting lists because don't count a unit out just because you have something like that happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes that just happens.
Always be expecting a loss. Like,
Yeah.
man, that unit could die. What's my backup plan for that unit dying? That's what I didn't think of.
And I didn't think of it either.
I mean, I kind of had it.
Oh,
But then
that
you just
I don't
feel-
know.
oh.
That right side of the board just
Yeah.
that moral victory.
Oh, for sure.
Those archers are over there like, dude, we're gonna get laid tonight when we come back with this story.
Yeah, that hurt.
The rest of the archers, or the rest of the units, or the army's dead. But at least the green lady, and we'll get to go party with the archers.
There you go.
So you gotta look at the bright
She's
side of
gross.
everything.
Definitely Green Lady. Look at that unit.
She's awesome.
Man, 6 defense, heal 8, fly,
Regen.
regen. What? I don't think there's a role she doesn't have. I can't think. Elite?
Elite.
Let's
she
put
doesn't.
that in
Oh,
there.
she does have elite.
Yeah, because she's
Oh
elite.
my God, she has elite for heal. I completely forgot.
What
Why
more
would
do you need than that?
Oh,
Yeah, for 200 points or
I
whatever
think she
she
has
does.
elite. I don't know. I think she does.
I would.
Pretty
She's
sure.
an elf.
We'll check. We'll check it out.
200 points. Come on.
Yeah, I mean 200 points.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. I wonder if elite. No, I guess elite probably doesn't work for regen rolls. Do you think?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. That would
gotta
just,
drop
that
one
would just be
somewhere.
broken. Yeah, that would just be broken.
Yeah, he's talking about broken. He's got this 200-point character that does every roll in the book.
Does everything except crushing strength and vicious and elite. But, well, it might have elite. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's elite.
So yeah, I think this list is going to work. I have some balance. I have some hard-hitting units. The Shamblers are kind of in the middle between a defensive unit and they can be a hard-hitting unit if you bait enchant them. With the Green Lady, they have survivability.
Yeah.
The 2 cav units, I mean, that's about as hard-hitting as it's going to get for a elf army. The Tall Spears are both, they're just kind of real sticky. That's what they do.
Definitely. I'm surprised they held up against the Blight. That was pretty impressive. I thought the Blight was going to take them.
Yeah, I was hoping.
30 attacks, 30 attacks. The only thing I had, oh yeah, Brew's Strength. That's what cost them.
And then, but you had Ensnare.
Ensnare. But the Brew's
So-
Strength ended up swinging it.
And then, of course, Elite.
Elite. Yeah, so.
Makes a difference. The Archers, same thing. They do what they do, and they do it well.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting them to take 2 of your units out. When you did that, I was like, well, crap, this side of the board's lost.
Yeah.
I'll hurt them as much as I can. I wasn't.
It sucks. Turn 2, I'm like, it's in the bag. And all of a sudden, turn 3 comes and it's like, wow.
Nope.
That did not happen.
Yeah. It was a very up and down game.
I like the skating. probably play them again here soon.
Which would be nice.
I like the dwarves.
Give something for you guys to see something different. Definitely something different besides the dwarves.
Yeah.
And it's a nice little fluff change too. It's nice to see the elves against something other than the dwarves.
Yeah.
Because they're both supposedly good guys.
Yeah,
so it's
kinda
nice
weird.
to see.
Hate
Yeah,
the
right.
elves. 40 or fantasy just
Right.
traumatized me
From old fantasy.
from reading the books and just hate elves. Always
Yeah,
will.
he has a little elf that he burns in his backyard.
Yeah. Little straw elf.
Little
back
straw
there.
elf.
Don't worry about
All the
that.
little the garden gnomes and stuff are all dwarves and they're all on his side. So yeah, we'll go ahead and hopefully we'll get this bat rip up here soon. I'll probably get it up by the end of the weekend.
Yeah.
So
Be a good one to watch.
hopefully you guys like it. And this, like I said, this is another one in the series of the playtesting lists. So forgive me if I don't have all the models that are accurate and or models in general.
Let us know if you want to see the tournament army list.
Yes,
That's funny
yeah,
stuff.
let us know if you guys want to see the tournament army
Yeah,
list.
we
Let
can
us
throw
know.
down a couple tournament armies and then just make some weird, crazy games, so you guys can see what the game can progress to.
Just be dumb.
Yeah.
Just be stupid. Just be stupid. So, otherwise, though, if we don't hear anything, we're gonna keep
Keep throwing armies at each other,
Yeah.
different armies every time.
So,
Try and throw it up.
I've got a Brotherhood army that I'm putting together right now. I'm just getting everything together.
Gotta see Jimmy's ogres. See what.
Yeah, we gotta
what's
see the
going on with them.
ogres.
Yeah.
He's changed them up a little bit, I guess. So we're gonna try and get the ogres over here and get Jimmy over here with his army. And like I said, I've got a Brotherhood army I'm working on. It's all Cav. It's kind of a throwback to the Bretonians, which I've always loved. So
Jimmy's
we'll try
playing a
and-
blind child. That's how he gets his practicing. So.
Oh man. Oh.
It's pretty funny. Like he picked up a blind child at the daycare, and now he's playing against that guy, and that's how he gets practicing. So he's too scared to play us. So just let you know what Jimmy's up to.
The mental image they probably have right now of him with like a little 5-year-old blind kid, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing? No, that's a crap move. You can't. What? Can you not see what you're doing?"
Oh, you rolled all at once. Wow, that's a lot of ones.
That was a pretty good roll for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
But then he rolled like all 5s and 6s. The little blind kid probably actually beat him a couple times. Because Jimmy's not a good player.
Oh man. And on that note, we'll go ahead and end it for tonight.
4 Up Gaming.
Good night.
Check it out.